All right, good morning, Leadership Academy class. Glad to have everyone. Welcome. It's so great to be back together as a DC Metro family. I know when I was waking up this morning, part of me was like sad to leave my little girl today. She's home from school today. And the other half of me could not wait to get to Leadership Academy and get to see everyone and connect for a great day and workshop that we're going to have. Excited for me personally, I'm excited about learning. I hope you are too. This is always a fantastic space for just the next few hours to really put some of the stuff aside. You know, all the stuff you guys are dealing with in life, in relationships, in school, in exams, in midterms, in fraternity, and sorority, and all the gazillion million things that you have going on. And my goal is that in the next couple hours, I want to challenge you to really take a mental break from some of that stuff and really to focus on you while you're here for the next little bit. Focusing on taking this time to kind of do that quick internal check, right? That checkup from the neck up. Hey, how am I doing? We're going to talk about things like time management today. We're going to talk about things like finances. We're going to talk, hi John. We're going to talk about things like personal growth. We're going to get into some topics that I want you guys to take all that stuff. It's going to still be there when you leave, but for the next couple hours to really just focus on you, on thinking about where you are, what's going well, looking at opportunities where you can keep growing and getting better. I want you to immerse yourself in just learning, allowing yourself to dreamcast a little bit as we're talking about certain things and think about your future a little bit and get intentional over the next couple of hours about really becoming your best version of you. And that's what today's all about. Us all taking another step, investing in us to be better so that we can give more to all those important places in our life. So we can give more to those relationships, we can be better at academics, we can be better equipped for those future dreams and aspirations. And so taking that quick break for a bigger gain that will come from our time together. Hi, Heather. I want to begin today with my mom pictures, as always. I'll give you the VASI update here, whether you want it or not. So we're doing basic fall stuff here. So we did the pumpkin patch. The mom's like, look how pictures get. We've got a curl mohawk right down the middle right now is what hairstyle. The side hair fell out, but we kept the middle hair. So we got that going on right now. Sweater weather, even though it wasn't that cold out last weekend. And oh, check this out too. Look at Seriously, how could you not love some baby laughs to start off your day? And if you know my husband at all, he's like this big, kind of stern guy, and then he sees his little daughter and he's like, hey baby, and does this stuff that's just awesome. I love just watching him, and I'm like, where do you come up with that? He gets all animated, and anyone that knows Patrick, if you don't, you'll get to meet him at some point, and you're gonna be like, that was you on that video, the baby. Yeah, it does all these silly games. So we did finger painting for the first time. We painted some leaves this week in school. Big things going on. Some of you guys were asking as we came in. We went pine cone hunting, leaf hunting, finger painting, pretty big deal. I'm sure we probably ate more of it. She ate more of it. I personally didn't eat the paint, but yeah, I think that's all I got. This month of October, some of you guys may have seen, but this month of October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Cutco is participating, which is so cool. I'm proud that this is a regular part of what we do as a company, and that's our philanthropy work, and it happens in lots of different ways. This is just a small portion. But Cutco is committed to a donation of $50,000 to the Roswell Association that's in upstate New York. And 10% of all the proceeds from the pink Cutco this month will go directly to the research and working with them. I brought a live example so you guys could just see. They gave this to isn't it gorgeous? They gave this to the DVMs, and this one's engraved with the Roswell stuff, so you can always come check it out later. But this will end the pink Cutco at the end of the month. So this makes a fantastic gift for someone that either really just likes pink, someone that loves philanthropy work and would be excited about that, maybe someone that you know close to you or a family friend that's had some sort of battle with breast cancer or in honor of someone that has. So I want to make sure you guys take full advantage of that over the next month here. And I want to share just a quick update. I know the last time we were together on September 15th, we were getting ready to kick off the SLC push. And if you guys remember, our Strategic Leadership Conference is a once a year national conference where all of the district managers, the division managers, region managers, our corporate executives, and even people like our academic advisory board, our professors that work with Cutco directly, they all fly in, and the company sponsors this event each year. They spend somewhere in the ballpark of $250,000+ to invest in the growth of their people, with the idea that that investment is going to pay forward in what they're doing, bringing this information back to their teams, district managers and division managers continuing to grow and get better, and God bless you, and really working to get the best practices from those rounds. So there was about 400 of us that were flown out from the company to LA. I know it's a tough life. Flown out to LA, hosted at the Lowe's Hotel out there. And the room where we actually had the conference, this is kind of cool. It wasn't just any conference room. It's the same place where they host the Oscars and the Emmys and all that cool stuff. So we were right at the bottom of the Hollywood Hills, which is pretty neat. And I wanted to share with you guys, last time we were together, hi Brandon, last time we were together, I got to share with you guys a little bit about how our division's doing. And if you remember, I shared a little update on some of the offices that have been making forward progress in our division. But I figured I'd bring back some corporate updates as we're coming back from SLC and give you guys a quick snapshot. If there's something that you want to take down because you're like, oh, I want to put this in my demo or incorporate this, or hey, this is something that's important to me as I'm making a decision about what role I'm going to play in leadership next year, and we're making a decision about you. So I figured I'd share just a few things. One update is that currently the company is at $17 million in growth between 2017 and so far for 2018. And if you know anything about business or any of your classes that you've taken or finance or whatever is going on, to be up $17 million as a $250 million organization is pretty exciting. And this has really been an initiative of our company to continue to grow and what we have going on. But there's a lot of cool stuff happening right now. Last year we grew $12 million in sales. This year we're up over $5 million so far for a combined $17 million in growth over the last year and a half and some change that we have going on there. And for 2018, we're currently at $277 million in Cutco sales as of the beginning of October. And so we're looking to finish the year strong. Obviously, we don't expect everyone in here to contribute another mil or two, although you're more than welcome to do that. But every little bit will make a difference. And where are we really going as a company? You know, it was shared with us at the SLC event that the goal is to go from a $250 million company to a $1 billion organization. And it's not the $1 billion number that's necessarily exciting to Cutco. What's really exciting is what that means for the team of people like you guys. And what does that mean that our branches are experiencing and our district managers are experiencing, that the average rep is experiencing in their time with us? And that really gets super exciting, and all the opportunities that come along with that sort of growth. I also want to share with you guys that for 2019, Cutco in June will celebrate their 70th birthday as a product line. And how cool is that we have a chance, our sales reps are working with a product that's been around for coming up on 70 years, having the forever guarantee, 70 years of being the best of its kind anywhere in the world. And I know that sometimes we just take that for granted, right? We know Cutco's awesome. When we go to cut the rope, we know it's going to be great. When we take our shears to cut the penny, we know it's going to be cool. We know that Cutco customers are going to be impressed. You know, just the other day, a customer called that needed some more stuff. And I love that when you know you're going to ask the question like, oh, how do you love your Cutco? And you know every single time that they're going to say, oh my gosh, I love it, right? Like, oh, I've had it for, and then they're going to tell you their story. I love that confidence that I'm able to have, that our sales reps are able to have. I love that confidence when we're running interviews or we're running training, that we know what we do, what we offer to people is truly the best of its kind anywhere in the world. And we'll get to celebrate 70 years of that this coming summer, which is going to be a lot of fun. We were also just recently rated the number 12 best U.S. company to work. And I want to stop for just a second on this one because this is pretty powerful. And I know even in the room right now, we have several people that are deciding what you want to do this December or May when you graduate from school. I want to share with you that as a company in the entire United States, here were the top 5. Number 1 was Bain & Company. What's pretty cool is Justin Etkin, who actually originally started under John Godwin, became a sales representative, and then the next summer became a branch manager. And he used his vector experience to be one of the youngest people that they've actually hired at Bain. And he used his branch experience, he said, was his entire interview. Smart guy, had great test scores, went to Emory in Atlanta, and his whole interview, he said, was about them drilling him with questions about what he did with branch and how impressed they were with what he did. Number 1 was Bain & Company. Number 2 is Facebook. Number 3 is Google. Number 4 is LinkedIn, which I actually just got a message from a guy by the name of Unique, who was a sales representative for me when I was a new district manager. It's one of my first summers. He went to Richard Montgomery High School right down the street from my office, soccer player. And Unique got his experience here with Cutco, worked with us a couple summers, and he recently just messaged me because he now works for LinkedIn. He's living out in San Francisco, and he said that he uses what he's learned in Vector every single day. And he wrote me this really cool message. All these years later, he said, I don't know if you remember me. I remember Unique 100% clearly. Oh, yeah, awesome guy. And cool accent, too. And what's cool is that he said, I wanted to thank you for believing in me when I was new and getting started because it's helped me to land where I am right now. I'm like, that is why we do what we do. How cool is that? Number 4 is LinkedIn. Number 5 is Salesforce. And number 12, Vector Marketing Corporation for best U.S. companies to work with. USA Today featured the article that has a little blurb, and this is the screenshot from there, putting us up at the number 12 spot. I think that's cool. Not only, we don't necessarily need the validation, but I know that sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know a lot about it, or what is it? If they've had a friend that works here, typically the response is like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, my friend made a ton of money here. But it's always cool when it's recognized on a national level, especially amongst some of the names that we just mentioned here. So were we number 1? No. Were we number 2? Did we beat Google yet? The answer is no. But number 12 is a pretty decent start as we keep making forward progress. What's cool is this also aligns with our mission. You know, being the number 12 best U.S. company to work aligns with what we're going after. And I shared with you our mission here in DC Metro. The mission to provide the best personal, professional, and financial opportunity for youth, young adults in the DC Metro area, and for older people like myself. I shared with you last month that our goal is to impact over 1,500 people, new people, with our programs here next year, to open up 1,500 new spots for people to work with the 12 best U.S. company here in the DC Metro area. I know as you're coming here today that you're going to be in one of 3 situations as you listen to different topics that we cover. Hi, Claire. The first place you're going to be is, wow. Wow, that's a new idea for me that I just am hearing for the first time. And then when you hear those wow moments like, oh, wow, that's new information to me, that's a new idea, hey, jot it down. It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose, right? You're going to get lots of stuff today, right? It's going to be coming at you very quickly. Get it all down. You can kind of package it, unfold, get everything, digest some of that stuff later on. For right now, just get it down. The second place you could be today is you hear something during a message, and you say, oh yeah, I heard that before, but I'm not yet, what? I'm not yet doing it, right? Like, oh yeah, I know that, but I'm not currently doing it. You guys know we have to hear something an average of 5+ times before we actually start implementing it. So some of the topics that you hear, you might say, oh yeah, I already know that, right? But I'm not currently doing that. So today I want you to be open to those ideas. And then the third type of thing you're going to hear today is nice. I'm already doing that right now, right? Nice. Got it. Currently implemented in my daily life. And sometimes as we hear those like, nice, all right, cool, got it, I'm doing it. Sometimes as we hear those are reminders, it's validation that we're doing some of the correct things. It's a reminder of making a conscious effort that I have to continue doing those. Because sometimes we start doing something so well, we stop doing it. Have you guys ever done that before? You're like, oh man, that worked so well, I stopped it at some point. And it might serve as that reminder. So for our district managers in the back, this isn't just a, hey, I'm listening in. They're here to learn today too. Because just like you guys, they have information that every single thing we cover today is going to fit in one of these three categories. I encourage you to open your heart, your mind, your ears to that information. This first place I want to begin in today's topics is going to be one of those, oh yeah, I already know it. Nice. I already appreciate it. I'm already thinking about it. Most of this isn't going to be a wow, I've never heard it before, but certainly an important reminder. And that's that I want to remind you about how special the branch manager and district manager opportunity really is. One of my major takeaways from SLC every year when I go is a reminder of how special our opportunity is. Mine, yours, everyone else that comes in contact, and a renewed appreciation, a renewed gratitude for what we have a chance to do. And so wherever you are in the business, whether you're currently a district manager, whether you've been a branch 3 or 4 times, whether you're new and just started at some point in the last couple weeks or couple months, either way, I want to remind you what the opportunity really looks like and serve as a reminder of how special what we really get to do truly is. I want to just, as branches and districts, we sell the best product of its kind anywhere in the world. Now, I don't mean Cutco. We just talked about that 7 years, and that's fantastic. When you're a leader, Cutco isn't the product you sell. What's the product that you sell? What do you sell as a leader? As a district manager or branch manager, what do you sell? Yourself, the experience, the vision. You sell the opportunity. When you're a branch or district, you sell the best product of its type anywhere in the world. And that's the opportunity to be a sales representative, branch manager, district manager, to work here with Vector. Where else can students get experience like this, make income like this, be in a positive environment like this? You sell the best product of its type as a branch or district manager. No questions about it, hands down, best of its kind. I want to remind you that the opportunity here right now in 2018, in 2019, is better than it's ever been before. And it's been good. It's been really good since 1981. It's been exciting. And it's even better now than it's ever been. How cool is that? And I mean in all different aspects. There's been changes that have been made every single year to make the opportunity better. Doesn't that say a lot about the type of company? That they're constantly looking for ways to make something already really good even better. I love that. I absolutely love that. The opportunity is better in terms of profit than it's ever been before. Branch, district, there are enhancements in things like making the opportunity even more enjoyable. Of, hey, taking some of the strenuous, maybe tedious work of things like our text-to-schedule program that's allowed our managers to focus more instead of just the direct scheduling of applicants, but to really focus most of their energy and attention on recruiting their best people, PRs and friends of friends, and on really coaching representatives, digging in with their people, giving back to their team in an even bigger way. That's exciting. I love that what we do on a daily basis is fun. Running interviews where you get to meet so many different types of people, that's fun. When you get to shake someone's hand and welcome them to the team and give them the opportunity that's potentially life-shifting for them, that is fun. Learning about all the different people and getting to ask whatever questions you want about where they grew up or their background or what they're interested in or what they're going to do, that is fun to learn about people. Running training is fun. Running training is exciting. Teaching people a new skill or adding to a skill they already have, that is so fun. Have you guys ever done like teaching before where you see your students and they like get it, right? Or they all of a sudden like succeed? Has anyone done that before where you've actually helped someone learn or grasp something or get good at something? Isn't that so rewarding? We get to do that in training all the time. And you get to do it however you want, right? Your personality. No one tells you what you have to wear or how you have to say it or how you have to do it. You get to do it in your own style. Running team meetings is so fun. Running a team meeting is a freaking blast. I've done going to war meetings where I crawled in on my elbows to the team meeting in full camouflage. I've had a rock the push where I came in 80s and I had a wig, an orange wig that stood out like a rock star. I've had parking lot meetings because my team was too big. Meetings where you get to recognize people and make people feel really good and shower them with appreciation. That is fun to do. PDI is fun. John Godwin just told me before this meeting, he was like, boom, first 2 calls out of training, homemaker, and then a homemaker. That is fun. That is fun to see someone apply what they just learned and celebrate with them over the phone. Hey, I even love the calls where they don't make a sale in their first one. And I get to help shake their mindset that, hey, you're not going to win every single one, right? Hey, not every single appointment has to be a sale for it to be really great. Hey, what did you learn? What happened? How'd you move forward? That's fun to teach people how that really works. And that that's not failure, that they still made great progress. PCs are fun. It's still one of my favorite parts of the job. Connecting with people, talking about how things are going, getting to know each individual person and helping them move forward with what they have going on, that is fun to do. Branch manager. Branch manager is the greatest summer internship in the entire world. It's an MBA in 100 days. You can write that down and take it to the bank. It's low risk. In fact, almost 100% of your expenses are covered by the company. They gift you, not loan you, gift you $8,500 when you earn a branch spot. It covers, most cases, all of your office rent, most of your advertising. And so in many cases, when someone opens up their branch, they're already at their break-even point or pretty close before they even open the doors. How crazy is that? That the best internship, MBA in 100 days, and there's almost zero risk. Let's say someone doesn't get their team to succeed at the level they really want it to. Then they get to sell at flat 50% for 3 months. Count them up, July, August, and September. So if they completely flop with their team, but they learned a heck of a lot, then they get to profit the next 3 months selling Cutco, which you already know how to do. Making half, not qualifying for a monthly bonus, not a maybe, 50% of their sales on every single check for 12 weeks straight. That's exciting. Oh, by the way, we have the coolest, most ridiculous sales contest of all times when you're a branch manager. Winning the national trip with Cutco. 7-day, week-long trip to somewhere so ridiculously awesome, and you have to sell 10 grand in 5 weeks. That's a dumb contest. That is the greatest sales contest of all times. To sell $2,000 a week for 5 weeks, make half of it, by the way, as a branch, and go on a week-long trip on the company to somewhere really cool. The coolest travel trip contest of all times. Not to mention things like, doors that branch opens for the future and resume experience, and it's the fastest way to get to FSM, right? Making 50% all the time. because all of your office sales as a branch count towards your career sales as a branch. So take wherever you are when you branch, 20 grand, 15 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, and add all of your branch sales, including your personal sales, during July and August and September to that number, and that becomes your total career sales. It is the fastest way. In fact, if someone's like, oh, I really want to sell next summer, I'm like, you should be a branch. Recruit some people for 7-8 weeks, and then you're going to sell making 50% the rest of the summer. That is the best way to sell Cutco next summer. Profit-wise, experience-wise, hands down. If you want to sell next summer, you should be a branch. It's the best it's ever been. It's the most ridiculous internship in the entire world. Let's talk about DM for just a second. Let's talk about district manager. I could go on our entire 11 to 5 for today, but I won't. I picked out just a couple. First of all, this is the least expensive startup ever. What do you need to run a branch office, district office to get started? An office, maybe a couple chairs, maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of old school, but probably already have a laptop. You already have a cell phone. You guys get what I'm covering here? It's the least expensive startup ever. Have you guys ever looked into a franchise? When Chipotle came out, I'm like, oh man, this place is sick, right? And I thought it was like the only one. And then I looked it up and it's really a franchise at our McDonald's or whatever. It's like $1 million to get into a franchise like that. Some are $500,000, some are cheaper, right? But if you go into a franchise, typically you're going to get mailed like a DVD in the mail or maybe like a workbook to read through. And you'll pay in a few hundreds of thousands of dollars or a quick mill or something to get started. And, good luck to you is what you're going to get. There's time-tested programs and systems that have been around for decades in place for district managers to use. There's constant support on a weekly basis on calls, managers that are paid to be available and help with coaching and support. There's a training manual or a document or a program for it somewhere out there that everyone's going to willingly share because your Cutco franchise succeeding is awesome and exciting, not that someone wants to keep all the secrets for themselves. In fact, even as a district manager, they fly you into things like SLC for the best in the entire United States and Canada, share all their best stuff openly from the stage, and then upload all their documents to this thing called the cloud, where you can download all their information and steal all their programs that work super well. How about this, district managers? A chance to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. I know most people in school think, oh, when I graduate, I'll just, I'll make $100 grand as soon as I graduate or maybe after a year or two. Do you guys realize that 5% of Americans make $100 grand or more a year? 5. So the chances of most young people with no experience or career experience yet, right, outside of school, most new employees into the job market are not going to be making $100 grand. What's cool? District manager, no age bias. They don't care. Doesn't matter if you're 18, 19, 22, 23, the income opportunity is exactly the same. A chance to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our average district manager last year made over 75 grand, average. That includes people that are new, don't know what they're doing, right out of the gates. Our better than average district managers are easily making 100 plus grand, and our top district managers are making 150, 200, 250, 300, and more. To give you an idea, we're talking about income that's in comparison to being a doctor. Not even just like general practitioner, right? Like probably went to a specialty, that sort of deal. Except you have a chance to do it when you're like 21 or 22 and don't have $250,000 in debt. When I was 25 years old, my 1099 for 1 year, was $395,000. I'm from Carroll County. I went to Westminster High School. I didn't even go to public school. I went to UNC Wilmington. We used to jokingly call it Harvard by the Sea. I'm a Seahawk. My SAT was okay. I had a great GPA, which no one asks me about, that we were joking about earlier. How cool is that? Shoot, and even if it's not $300,000+ in a year, which is like kind of mind-boggling, right, to think about at a young age with zero debt, and what sort of savings that can set up in investing for your future, right? But let's even just talk about $100,000. 5%. 5%. How quickly could you be part of that 5%? District manager is an opportunity to do it really quickly. Even if you're making $60,000 out of college, by the way, which is a pretty good start, and you annually get a 3% raise, which is industry standard, you go from the first year from making $60,000 to making what the next year? What's 3% of $60,000? You made $61,800 year 2, but then you get a 3% raise the next year. Now the next year, you're making what? Not $61,800, but you're making what? $63,000. Woo! Woo! After 5 years, 5 years, you've potentially moved up $10,000 in income for the entire year. It's going to be about $200 a check. You can really build any kind of life you want with that kind of income. Here. Not the $60,000 as much. Making hundreds of thousands as a district manager, you can build whatever life you want for yourself, for your family, personal interests, hobbies. What about this? A district manager drives a free BMW. Now, this isn't like the Mary Kay program where like the one lady who like sold like a lot of Mary Kay stuff like got the one car that they had, right? And you better like completely give out, right? This is everyone as a district manager gets a BMW. You get a BMW and you get a BMW. It's like Oprah, right? Like everybody gets a BMW. Every district manager drives a BMW. 100% free. How sick is that? How cool is that? Not only one of the nicest cars in the entire world, but even better is it's free. That's my favorite part about how my BMW drives. It's fantastic. It was on my dreams list, by the way, since I was 22, to drive a Mercedes or a BMW. But I'll take the free BMW. How cool is that, by the way, to not have a car payment? Like just, boop. $500 a month that just can go right into savings and investing. And you drive one of the nicest cars. Oh, by the way, and then when your lease is up in 3 years, then you just get like a brand new one, right? I've never driven a car more than 3 years old since I've been like an adult. Isn't that disgusting? How cool is that? That just BMW, free car for everybody. Oh, what about this? Our district managers travel the world for free. And I don't mean just like, hey, we go to Pennsylvania and visit like the Utz factory or something. I'm sure that would be awesome, right? But I mean, is it Utz factory in Pennsylvania? Is it right? Okay, all right. My pretzel knowledge might be a little off. But we go to the coolest places on the planet. On the planet. And you get to bring your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, fiance, whoever it is with you. How cool is that? Even just trips we've taken. Who can name some that they've heard of or where the company has gone so far? Court, just shout them out.
Munich.
We've been to Munich, Germany. Not only just we go to Munich, by the way. When we stay in a 5-star place when we go, right? It's not like a hostel in Munich, Germany, all right? This is like lap of luxury. And They were like, oh, yeah, we want this to be a cool experience for our district managers. So they rented out the BMW factory to host a dinner party.
The whole museum is nuts.
Whole thing. Just close it down. Vector's coming. I don't know about you, but my family doesn't have the opportunity to do that like just on our own. You know what I mean? Some of yours might. Congratulations. Please invite me to your holiday parties. Where else have we gone, by the way?
Prague.
We went to Prague, which is one of the coolest cities in the entire world. In fact, they've sent me not just once, they sent me twice, and I'll take it again. It's one of the coolest cities in the entire world.
Yep.
Where else?
Rome.
Ireland.
We've been to Rome, Italy. We didn't just go to Rome, Italy, right? We stayed at this gorgeous hotel. My husband and I just got engaged before we went to Europe. And we're like sitting in the lobby or whatever. And my husband's like, that's Julius Peppers staying in our hotel. And I'm like, just remember who your wife is. I brought you here. I don't just bring my husband to anywhere, right? We stay at the best. We travel where the NFL players go. How cool is that? Oh, yeah. And then we rented out the Sistine Chapel for a private tour. Just for Vector people. Who are we? Right? Like, talk about living life in the front row, right? I mean, this is cool. It's so cool. Oh, and then while we were in Italy, we're like, oh, yeah, we rented out a monastery, brought in all these, like, cool lighting and DJ, and we hosted a party there because we wanted to. It's silly. We've been to Buenos Aires, Argentina. We've been to, where else? Oh, we went to Ireland. And we're like, oh, yeah. When we go to Ireland, let's just rent out the Guinness factory.
Yeah.
We want to have a party there. Yeah, because that's Irish. Guess what? That's what we freaking did. Where else? Oh, yeah. Oh, because you've got to go to Vegas, right? You've got to go to Vegas. You've got to go to Miami and the Bahamas and Mexico and all the other cool little tropical places in the Grand Caymans and stay at one of the coolest spots there. And, of course, you've got to do a few little tropical-y ones in there, too, right?
Oh,
Panama. Oh, and then we didn't just go to Panama, right? We went to Panama and we said, oh, wow, it's the 100-year anniversary of the Panama Canal. So we're going to rent out our own ship to just go right through it and celebrate together. I didn't even know the Panama Canal was 100 years old when I went. But I'm glad I got to go. How cool is that? When they built the new Cowboys Stadium, Vector's like, yeah, we want to go check it out. In fact, we want to have a dinner party right on the Dallas Cowboys star. We were just kicking field goals and dining on their brand new stadium field. Because that's what Vector people do. I love that we just think big and crazy. It's not about the knives. The knives are a vehicle for building amazing, fun lives. It's not just about the money. The money is about what it allows for you and your family and wealth building and to give back and to do all these cool things. It's about signature experiences. It's about doing cool stuff in life. What about growth? Here's one of my takeaways from SLC. If you can't live and grow here, you can't do it anywhere. Isn't that the truth? If you can't live and grow here, we've got workshops dedicated to growth. We've got a manager always a phone call away willing to help out. When you're in SC2 and SC1, a growth talk here, videos on every sort of Vector Connect message you could possibly want. People at your fingertips, recommending books, giving you books. Everything you can do. If you can't live and grow here, you can't do it anywhere. What about the type of work that we do? Meaningful, purposeful work. It's not selling a product, not knocking anything that anyone wants to do in the future, but when I think about really meaningful life work, what district managers really do? You believe in people. Sometimes more they believe in themselves at first. You inspire people to think bigger, to do bigger. In some cases, you're helping someone to build their self-confidence. And sometimes it might not be used here forever, right? But building their self-confidence so they can go on to do whatever their life's work looks like. The confidence to stand taller. The confidence to have that tough conversation that they need to have. The confidence to follow whatever dream they're scared to go after. Soft skills. Things like how to interview, how to talk to people, communication skills. What about things like teaching professionalism? You know how many people I've taught that the little part that goes on your suit right here, you cut that off? Who's going to teach us that without a vector district manager? That the little flaps on the back, when they're sewn together, you need to rip that. It's not supposed to stay like that. Teaching professionalism of how to treat people, leading by example. What about dream casting? You know, so many times when we have an opportunity to work with youth, they don't know what they want to do yet. Can you help them come up with a dreams list? I did my first dreams list when I was at a Vector conference. What is it I'm even excited about? My husband and I just started working on, we just checked a bunch of dreams off our list the last couple of years. And we're like, we need to go back to our dreams list. We need to add some more stuff on there, right? We're running out. But that's something I learned at a conference when I was 23 years old at a Vector event. You help people dreamcast. You help people chase after their dreams. Maybe it's earning the capital to do what they really want to do. Maybe it's getting the skills here that they need to be qualified for their dreams in the future, or ready for what they're going after. What about financial habits? You know, today we're going to work on Ramsey again. We're going to keep building those skills. Next level group, we're going to build on investing. But you help people start on even things like signing them up for forced withholdings, right? That passive form of savings. I love that Lydia said in our group meeting, she's like, I have $1,000? I didn't even know. Right? Colin responded, I think, with something, hashtag passive savings. How cool is that? That Courtney was like, boom, sign up for this thing, right? No big deal. And teaching her how powerful that is just this summer. You help people overcome fears. What about even our first fears of like making our first phone calls or doing that first Cutco presentation? I still remember that first one. I can vividly imagine nicking myself with a table knife, doing a presentation for my mom and pop-up, starting to bleed and holding the tissue in my hand the rest of the presentation, hoping they didn't notice. Anyone else cut yourself on your first one? Oh, what up? Yes. Ever? The second one. All right. First weekend, anyone? At least? Come on. All right. Make me feel a little better. All right. I'm not alone. You are not alone, I guess is what I should say. How cool is that? That you're helping people face their fears. Doing something that's out of their comfort zone, because that's when growth is happening. Expanding capacities of what they're really able to do. District manager is by far the best career opportunity in the world. I'm not saying it's for every person in this room, but you would be crazy not to consider that as one of your top options. You would be crazy if you're looking at all the opportunities not to at least do it and give it a shot. Maybe it's only for a year, maybe it's 2 years, whatever it might be. I'm completely biased, but it's the best in the world. How cool is that if that's what we get to do? I want to remind you that to keep those options at least open. You don't have to commit today or know exactly what your future looks like, and some of you guys are trying to sort that out right now, and that's what the process is for, right? That's what the process is for, the next several months. But if you want to keep branch or district continuing to be open as an opportunity, you need to be funded and you need to be trained. What does that mean? Well, for being funded, you've got the reminder again at your seats today on a bright green sheet of paper. And those are financial checkpoints, your savings checkpoints. Today, the checkpoint is $250. Everyone that's at $250 or more, I'd like you to stand up. You're at $250 or more in your savings. Stand up.
Just in total? Or?
In total. Ever in life so far for the year. Good. And I know Colin will do more formal recognition later as we go into our financial topic, but just to recognize, all of you guys have hit the initial checkpoint so far, and you should feel really good about that. It's nice to be on pace with that. And if you're not there yet, it's so easy to do. $250, that's selling $1,000 at Cutco if you're at 25%. You can do that in one order. You can do it in 2 or 3 average orders, right? And boom, you're right back in the game. This is easy to get caught up in. In fact, you can do it next week. Good, 500 or more in savings, stay standing. 500 or more, stay saving. Saving. Keep doing that too. Good. Awesome. You guys are already at the checkpoint. That's for next month. And that's in Olean. Olean's checkpoint is to be at $500 or more to be recognized in front of the executives in a group setting. Good. 1,000 or more, stay standing. If you're at 1,000 or more in savings so far, yes, stand up, Madison.
Yeah, get up there.
$1,000 or more so far in savings. You guys have already qualified not just for the 500 level in checkpoint in Olean, but you've also already qualified to get your picture with the executives in Olean, New York. And so you'll get a picture with myself, Earl Kelly, the region manager, our CEO of Cutco, our CFO of Cutco, and that is a pretty cool spot to put right in your branch office or district office, and they mat it for you and frame it and put it in a nice thing. And everyone has an opportunity to do this, by the way, by the time we get to November 9th in our Olean trip. Can we give these guys a round of applause, by the way? You guys can grab a seat. I know many of you are way higher than that already, and Colin will recognize that later. So number 1 is being funded. Number 2 is being trained. I want to show you guys what you need to know to be trained. We covered this last month, and I'm going to remind you of it every single time. There's a focus 5. Number 1 is you need to know how to advertise. You guys already know more than you think you know about how to run an office, by the way. This is not rocket science. This isn't like physics class, Elijah. This isn't aerospace engineering classes that some of you are taking. This is probably not even nearly as complicated as Matthew Bailey's 8-hour art classes, okay? It's really not that hard. In fact, you guys could already know everything you need to know about running a vector office. And anything you don't know, there's been systems in place for decades. So the first thing is advertising. You need to pass out some business cards at a campus. Could you guys figure out how to do that without any instruction? Yep. What about hang up some posters on the campus? Do you think you could figure that out? Yep. Then the company is going to post Craigslist and all your online stuff for you. You don't even have to do anything except open your office. And then the company is also going to send out mailers, letters to some of the students in your territory. They're going to pick out the best ones, or they're going to just do it for you. So do you think you could figure out the advertising part? It would look like this. Did you get one? Hi, good afternoon. Did you get one? Awesome. You have a summer job yet? Or it also might look like this. Imagine this is a stapler. You got it. You could do the advertising part. Next, PR program. Your friends. People recommending people for the job. All you do is send them a text message that we actually even tell you what to put in the text message. Or you call them, and we actually have a script. Does that sound familiar, by the way? That you guys have all done 1,000 times, right, of reading a script. But essentially, you're like, hey, your friend thought you might be interested in a job, but they know they haven't maybe talked to you for a little bit. 1850, you want to hear more about it? What's cool is those are even easier to schedule than Cutco appointments. It's like, 1850? Yeah, tell me more. And then you tell them a little bit about the job. That's it. That's what you need to know. Either how to send a text or how to make a call and follow script, which you guys have already done thousands of times. All right, 2 out of the 5. Are we feeling pretty good so far? All right, number 3, training seminar. All training is you just teach someone how to do the demo that you have already done. That's it. Who feels like you could teach someone how to do the demo that you already know how to do? It's really not that hard. In fact, it's all written down for them word for word. So even if all I did was teach them the training manual and we practiced through it, I'm pretty sure I could teach someone how to do a demo. I don't know about you. That's it. You're just teaching them how to do what you already know how to do, and you've probably done 20, 50, 100, maybe a couple hundreds of these. And if you want, we have it scripted out word for word, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. Because in training, you just need to teach them how to do a demo. What you already know how to do. That's it. That's it. I'm pretty sure you could teach someone how to do the names and uses. Fast Start program. All Fast Start program is PDI. So when they call in, and when they ask a question, what will you do? Answer it. Where do I find the prices, Megan? Oh, no problem. I can help you with that. You already know the answer. It's where? Where do they find the prices? In the price list. You guys are already ready. I'm calling in because they weren't sure about the homemaker. What should I do now? Show them the other options. You guys already know what to do, right? Can you help me out with a deal for this? You already know how to do it, right? You've already made deals before. And if you don't know, it actually says in your price list how much stuff you can give away for free, and then you just divide and give them the answer. You already know how to do all that stuff. Fast Start is just making sure that you coach them through their first 10 days. PDI, and then you also might run a PC, right? Or in John's office, they call it a powwow. You sit down with them, and you talk to them. That's all it looks like. In fact, we just did it this morning. Hey, how are things going? How's your family? How's your boyfriend? How's this? Cool, sounds good. Build rapport. Have you guys ever done that before? We do it every day. You've done it on demos a gazillion times. You build rapport for a couple minutes, and then you help them with whatever they need help on. Hey, I'm not good at my clothes. Cool, let's role play it. Hey, I'm not that good at the phone. Cool, let's role play it. That's what a PC looks like. Hey, I haven't set up my schedule. Cool. Luckily, you've set up a schedule a lot of times. In fact, we're going to do one today. That's it. That's it. All right, and number 5 is demo management. What do you think that means? Just doing what? Helping to create what? Demos. It's not demo management. It's just creating demos. Making sure they just fill in their openings. That's it. How do you do that? How do you schedule appointments? Where do you go? To the office, and you do something called a phone. How do you think you run a phone jam? Yeah, you walk around, you give some encouragement. Maybe phone jam with them. Show them an example. Write some tallies on the board. Who feels like they could probably pull off a phone jam right now? Walk around, give some high fives. Great job. Practice a little bit. Do some tallies on the board. Woo-hoo! All right, what about finding an office space? Well, we help you do it. In fact, we go with you. And then we negotiate the lease for you. And then I review the lease for you. Make sure everything looks good. In some cases, like in my case, I was away at school, and I did nothing. The manager negotiated my lease and found it, and I showed up, and yay, it was here. Anyone else that was the case? They just did it for you? Yeah.
I didn't know where it was, so I showed up.
Me neither. You guys already know, more than you think you know, about how to run a branch or district office. It's just teaching people to do what you already know how to do anyway. That's it. And it's already written down, word for word. There's a program for it. If you're one of our candidates here that wants to get, how do I get trained, right? How do I work on those 5 things? This is it. You work on those 5 things. The way you get trained is CPO. You keep selling just to get more practice and experience. So you're better at PCs and PDI, and you're better at phone jams. All those things are teaching you how to teach others to do it. And then number 2 is office repetition. It's just getting involved in your office. I heard Kevin Garcia was just watching training on Thursday. So he just came into his office and watched training. Well, what if you're really far away? What could you do? You can't physically get in the office like Kevin Garcia. What could you do? You could FaceTime it, right? Or video in. Do you think there might be videos already even online with this? Yes, these programs have been around for decades. They're available right now to you on Vector Connect, on the video library. You can watch various different people running whatever you want to see. A phone jam? Cool, it's on there. You want to learn about how to run a PC? Cool, that's on there. A bunch of examples, all different personalities and people. You want to see someone run training? Already on there. Interviews? Already on there. These are already at your fingertips. So how do you get trained? CPO, you keep selling to get experience. And 2 is start practicing some of this in the office, either live or on videos. And you can do it from anywhere in the world. If you're one of our advanced candidates or a next level group, it's just diving a little deeper with those 5, right? Getting better at those 5. So advertising is, you might get really dive into the social media program and master that, and we have a program for that. If you're one of our next level candidates, it might be about not just averaging 100 PRs, but averaging 150 PRs, which is what Brian Hellman was talking about at SLC. Training seminar. You might not just be teaching people how to sell Cutco, but you might just take it a little farther, right? Hey, I want to master this talk. Or we call it the big 6. Those are the big important talks of training, right? And starting to master those. I only ran 1 training before I ever became a district manager, a career position here. That's it. So you might just take some of these topics just a step farther if you're a next level group. And if you want to continue to keep branch and district open as an option, you also have to be willing to adhere to these 4 standards within our division. And these are really our 4 core values or our anchors. And number 1 is true professionalism, doing right by people, being honest and ethical always, no matter what other people are doing, whether or not someone's looking. Number 2 is explosive team building. That's being inclusive, giving people the opportunity to succeed here. An opportunity doesn't mean you have to share the opportunity with everyone. You get discretion to pick who's on your team, but being inclusive, looking for reasons to select someone to your team. Building big, powerful teams, because big armies beat little armies. Number 3 is a high standards in sales performance, that we expect our results to be some of the top in the nation. We expect a lot of ourselves, our representatives, to perform at a high level. And number 4 is aggressive pursuit of growth. And that means that we're humbled to learn and grow and hungry to get better. So what are the next steps to continue keeping these options open? The next steps from here, leaving today, is our Olean trip. By the way, raise your hand if you're already signed up for Olean. We've already got your spot reserved, ready to roll. I think almost every person here. I'm super excited. This is one of the coolest experiences as a Leadership Academy candidate. I can't wait to introduce you guys to the rest of the region, to introduce you guys to the company. For DC Metro, the squad, right now we have 47 people signed up. Our goal is to bring our top 50 to this event. And we're gonna roll deep to Olean. I was sharing on the call, I got excited. I was like, maybe we can do t-shirts, and they're all like, Kate, you're getting a little aggressive with it. But don't be surprised. Yeah, it might be kind of cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But I can't wait to introduce you guys to the crew, for you guys to experience that. I know John's going to talk a little bit about the Olean experience, what to expect. And we've got the push week leading up to it. And the push is going to be the 19th through the 8th. You've got a little time. In fact, we're going to help you start getting prepared a little bit while you're here today. And then your manager can follow up with you, either FaceTime, over the phone, or in person. The event's November 8th through the 11th, that weekend. The next step after leaving Olean, or even before Olean potentially, is something called a letter of commitment. And one of my major takeaways from the SLC event, one of the quotes, you guys know how you have those like light bulb moments sometimes where like, aha, that just like that just clicked for me, right? It was Andrew Evans. And what he said during SLC is, you don't need more motivation, you need more commitment. Let me say that one more time. You don't need more motivation, you need more commitment. Oh, and that struck me, right? Have you guys ever been feeling like that? Like, oh, I feel like unmotivated, right? Oh, I just need more motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Sometimes you feel very motivated. A lot of times when you leave an event or you read a cool book or you have a great conversation or you just leave the gym, you've got this energy, right? This momentum. You've got this excitement about you. You have this motivation. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Commitment is concrete. Here's the difference. Motivation, let's talk about if you're talking about going to the gym, right? Or one of my commitments this week was during the week to eat clean Monday through Friday, right? To eat clean. And I am a carb lover, okay? Mashed potatoes, French fries. I consider myself a chip connoisseur. I have a variety in my collection. In my pantry, I love a chip. I love it. Even just thinking about it right now brings me to my happy place. And I made a commitment of my last pregnancy pounds, right? I'm like, Monday through Friday, I'm making the commitment to eat clean. And that sounded really good when I was writing in my journal and putting down my goals, right? And then I do my meal planning for the week, and I started resorting back to some of my ways. And then I had a full day, right? And I was coming home, making dinner for my family, and I'm like, oh, right? Mashed potatoes and gravy would just go so good with this turkey meatloaf right now, right? I'm like, the turkey meatloaf is so healthy. A little mashed potato ain't gonna hurt, right? In those moments of weakness, right? I was thinking about those taters. Similar to Carter. Yeah. My daughter loves mashed potato. Motivation comes and goes, right? But commitment is concrete. When I wrote in my journal, I will eat clean Monday through Friday. No questions asked, no matter how I feel, right? I made the commitment. I made the decision. I made the commitment. Whether I felt like it or didn't feel like it, felt good, felt motivated, felt unmotivated, right? The answer was still the same. Do you guys see the difference? Motivation is, oh, I'll go to the gym. When I wake up in the morning, hey, depending on how I feel, right, I'll go. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to the gym. That's how you made the decision. Am I right? Because motivation comes and goes. The difference is, hey, when my alarm goes off at 5:30, I'm going to get up, put on my clothes are already laid out. I'm going to go to the gym, and then I'll be back by 6:15. It's a non-negotiable. You don't need more motivation. You need more commitment. One of the next steps in the next few months, everyone will be at a different time, is deciding which of those 4 paths you're going to take for 2019. And the same 4 paths we talked about when we were going through Leadership Academy together. I want to recognize one individual that just recently made the commitment to earn a spot as a district manager. Now, this letter of commitment doesn't guarantee them a spot. They've still got to earn it, right? They're still going to be funded, and they still have to be trained. But they've made that commitment to themselves, and they've also voiced that commitment to myself, their manager, and our region manager, Earl Kelly, that their commitment is to earn a spot with us on our district team for this summer. I asked Kevin Garcia if he'd be willing to share his letter that he submitted this week. So, Kevin, I printed out a copy for you if you need it. You got one? Or you need it? Where did I put it? Colin, is that letter back there in my folder? Oh, I was asking. I saw you holding it up. Did you have my...
Oh, no,
Oh. Oh, fine. I printed it out somewhere, Kevin.
I don't want computer.
Okay, cool. That works too. So I wanted to share this because I thought, number one, Kevin was the first person to turn in his letter of commitment. So I wanted to highlight that. Two, is I thought that his letter and story was really powerful, and I asked him to share. And number three, if you feel like you're close to making that commitment or kind of interested and you're not sure what a letter of commitment should sound like. It doesn't need to sound like this one. In fact, mine wasn't nearly this well written. Mine was like, I'm in, right? I love it. Bleed, cut, go. Or whatever the heck I said. But it wasn't nearly as eloquent as his. But Kevin, I'd like to have you come share. You want to come up here?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just a little bit nervous. Yes, I'll just start off, and as you guys already know, my name is Kevin, and I just wrote my letter this week. I turned it in. I'll just start. Sales are the lifeblood of a business. Without sales, there would be no business in the first place. Just like district managers are the lifeblood of Vector, there needs to be a leader that will create an inspiring vision of the future, will motivate and inspire assistant managers, sales reps to engage in that vision, and most importantly, deliver that vision. And that is exactly what you guys have done for me as leaders. I was talking to Earl and Kate and John. I am truly grateful to have such an amazing role model who inspire me daily, to escape my limiting beliefs, to work harder and to try new things that might make me uncomfortable. This is exactly how I feel in leading my team once I become a district manager and open my own office in May of 2019. Just how you guys have positively impacted me. I'd like to positively impact the lives of others by helping them become better versions of themselves. And by the end of this letter, I hope to make a strong case on why I am the perfect candidate to open my own district office this upcoming summer. And I'd like to start off by telling you guys a little bit more about my past. My family and I came from humble beginnings. Both of my parents are originally from Mexico, and I'm the first generation here in the United States. So it hasn't been easy for my parents or myself when it comes to finances. And we used to live paycheck to paycheck, and we were sometimes late on rent when we lived in a very small apartment in DC. I remember during the time that I was in middle school, my parents at times couldn't afford to buy me new clothes, new shoes. They were all torn up clothes that barely even fit me anymore. And some kid would even laugh at me because of it. So I decided to take action. Instead of blaming my circumstances, I decided to save money, buy hats, buy clothes, buy shoes from discount stores on the weekends with my dad, and resell them for a higher price on Monday once school started. And this is how I was able to afford the things that I wanted. I've also done manual labor with my dad, such as carrying 60 pounds of cement, flooring, plumbing, carpentry, etc. I've even gone door to door trying to help my dad get more customers. So I've gotten doors shut in my face, kicked out of houses. I've been yelled at and screamed at. So I've done things that I never wanted to do. So I've learned from experience. And what I've learned is that it's not all about it's not doing what you love. It's doing whatever it takes. Just like Grant Cardone says. And I'm not saying that to make you guys feel bad about me or anything like that, but just to see all the things I've gone through and what I've been pushing. Even though my past wasn't what I wish it would have been, I'm glad that I've had to go through these obstacles because they have molded me into the person I am today, and they have taught me very important life lessons, such as work ethic, fear isn't real, failure is good, age is just a number, knowledge is power, and the happiness is not based on external factors. It is internal. It's an internal state. I've also been able to create an online e-commerce business from scratch, and I was profitable from it. So I already have really good business experience outside of Vector because I've had to work with customers and suppliers before. I self-taught myself email marketing, social media marketing. I've read books on psychology, sociology, marketing, advertising, sales, in order to understand how people make purchasing decisions. Even though I am not in college, I do value my education a ton. I read a book a week, which helps me improve my life in all areas such as health, wealth, love, and happiness, and in business. You may be wondering why I decided not to attend college, and the reason why is because I truly believe that a formal education will make you a living, but a self-education will make you a fortune, just like Jim Rohn says. And what I love about Vector is that I've been able to develop important life skills such as confidence, public speaking, coaching younger sales reps, managing an office, the sales process, how to run an interview, and so much more. With that being said, I do believe that everything I've learned from books, courses, and my amazing manager, John Godwin, I feel very confident about opening my own district office and becoming a district manager. Not only would I be a great leader to my team, but I will be able to positively impact the lives of others. And my dream has always been to own my own business. I love Vector because it makes that a possibility. Here at Vector is a place where I have all the right tools and the right vehicle for success. I believe in Vector and my abilities to becoming successful with the company. So I am submitting my letter of intent to show my commitment and loyalty to the company. I'd love to open up my own district office and inspire others to grow and learn from me and each other. I want to help create and develop the next leaders of the DC Metro Division, and I hope to see them surpass me someday. My goal is also to set the new standard for district managers, and this is a huge goal.
Oh shoot, better wake up back there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is a huge goal, and I say it confidently because I plan on outperforming everyone else. I'm not saying that to like show off or anything like that. I'm just saying it's my goal pretty much. And where am I? Just lost my place. Yeah, and just like Steve Jobs once said, I want to make a dent in the universe. I hope to prove that I am a worthy district manager candidate in my vector skills, my knowledge, and leadership role as an assistant manager.
Can we give Kevin Garcia a round of applause? Hey, Kevin, thanks for sharing that. Woo! Dusty in here. I don't know about you guys. I don't even have allergies, but they're kicking up right now. Kevin, thanks for sharing that. And we don't need more motivation. We need more commitment. Congratulations on making the commitment to earning a spot. One of my favorite quotes says, "At the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you." What we're doing right now is will lead to winter break, which was one of our next major checkpoints. Winter break is going to be a chance for many of you guys to sell at 25, 30%, 40%, wherever you are, 50% for some of you guys. There's going to be a trip announcement, a chance to win a cool trip in a short amount of time for winter break, which is going to be exciting, and a chance to work on our skills as we kick off a winter break session. In fact, that's where Connor Lugo Harris began over a winter break program with us not too long ago. At the conclusion of winter break will be our year-end banquet. And our year-end banquet's going to happen towards the end of January. And our year-end banquet and end of winter break is where we'll start making the decisions on those 4 paths we talked about in August. And that will mean either you leaving Vector and doing something else, going out as a branch, God bless you, or district manager, assistant or sales manager, or leading as a sales representative this summer. So in the next couple months, we'll start making those decisions. In some cases, like a Kevin Garcia, if you feel like you get to that point, you don't necessarily have to wait to Olean or to winter break. And obviously, the earlier someone submits a letter of commitment, the more time they have to get serious about their training and really start visualizing that. And of course, gives more time for the universe to rise in assisting you with your plans. In the spring, it would be followed by training for whatever specific role you're going to play a part in. So if you're going to be an assistant manager, we have a spring training catered to assistants. Branch, we have a branch training. Districts, we have a district training, so on and so forth. This will all lead to your best year ever, #by 2019. And I'll wrap up with this. Our SLC theme this year was #VectorTrained. I know I shared a little bit of this during our Leadership Academy this week on GoToMeeting with several of you guys. I mentioned earlier that it's not just about Cutco. It's not about the knives. It's not about the income. It's about the full package. And the theme of this event was the pride in being vector trained. And I'll wrap up with this concept that today is worth our time. Leadership Academy is worth our time. I don't know which path you're going to be led to when we get to our year-end banquet or winter break. I don't know what your 2019 will look like. I hope you find a spot that works for you here. I hope that you're able to grow your talents and your skills here. I hope you're able to make your 2019 and your best year ever here in a spot that works with us. But in the meantime, I want to remind you that being vector trained is special. I'll give just a few examples. DeGogo is a district manager candidate. Some of you guys may or may not know that he's been interviewing. We planned this out a long time ago. He's done pizza delivery, youth ministry, and Cutco. He's like, I want to see what else is out there. I'm like, awesome. So we've been coaching through the process, PDIing through the process. And what's so cool is that the interviews DeGogo's gone on so far, feel like he's nailed every single one of them. We've brainstormed questions. He had great interview questions. We've added to the interview questions. We've talked about what's his list of priorities in looking for a career. And so far, of the ones that he's gotten to that stage, he's gotten offers from every single one of those opportunities thus far. That is, my friends, hashtag vector trained. When you're overwhelmed, when you're stressed, but you know how to do a power hour and plan out different power hour than you might be thinking. Power hour of planning, which Courtney's going to walk you through today. And you suddenly have clarity on your schedule for the week. Hashtag vector trains. When you're saving now as a 17, 18, 19, 20-something-year-old versus spending on silly things that you're not going to use a few years from now and focus on building wealth, that's when you know your hashtag vector trains. When you spend a Saturday afternoon from 11 to 5 working on your craft to be your best version and future leaders of the country, you know your hashtag vector trains. When you take the harder road, because that's where growth happens, anchor number 4, you know you're vector trained. When you have that tough conversation that you don't want to, but you know it's important because you learned about fierce conversations and how to have them, and for the greater good of your relationship, you know your hashtag vector trained. When you don't back down from fears, but you move through it and take on the challenge with excitement that your capacity is going to be increased, you know your hashtag vector trained. You know when you're honest with yourself, you're honest with other people, even when it's something seemingly insignificant. When you're honest with people, even when it makes you vulnerable or not look in the best light. When you're honest, even when you think no one is going to notice. Anchor number 1. You know your hashtag. You know when the results are invisible. When you're really working hard and the results are invisible, not existent, you cannot see them, that you trust that it's compounding and it's all going to come together. That's when you know your hashtag. You know when you have high standards for yourselves and those around you. Anchor number 3, you know your hashtag. And you know that in the next weeks to come, as you encounter things at life, at school, home, finances that come up and make you think about your leadership training, I want you to share them in our GroupMe with a hashtag. You got it. Thanks, guys.
Can we give Kate another round of applause? I didn't come into prep expecting to cry today, so thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. I don't cry either, so like I was getting a little. You are, but I'm not. So, so that was awesome.
Can you pause that video?
Oh yeah.
And then restart it from here?
Okay.